One of the worst feelings you'll ever have when it comes to using computers and laptops is when this happens. You've lost all your data, important files, precious memories, and all your hard work. That gut shot that hits at the pit of your stomach. Don't let this happen to you. Be protected with MiniTool's ShadowMaker. I'm going to take a look at MiniTool's ShadowMaker, which has a free version that can back up anything on your PC, from single files to folders to entire hard drives and partitions. You decide what you'd like to protect and even schedule automatic backups and syncing onto an external drive or USB, so you don't have to manually do it all the time. You can set a schedule and just forget about it, and it'll automatically back up on those times and dates. In the case that you have lost your data, you can easily restore them with this backup software. If your Windows gets corrupted and is no longer accessible unless you do a fresh format and reinstall, well, you can simply restore your Windows with this software. No need to format and reinstall everything from scratch and lose all your data. First, download the free version of MiniTool ShadowMaker 4.5 at the link in the description down below. Once you've downloaded it, simply load the installer and click on Install Now. When it's done installing, double-click the icon on your desktop to open the program. You've now entered the main interface. From here, it'll show you your computer's hard drive information, Windows version, and how much memory you have on your hard drive. On the bottom, you have last backup, next backup, and available restore images, and since we haven't done any yet, there's nothing there. On the left-hand column, you'll see some shortcuts, such as home, where we were just at. Then you'll have backup. This is where you set what drive you want to back up and to what destination it should be backed up on, such as another external hard drive or USB. The next shortcut is sync. This allows you to make a duplicate copy of any file or folder on your current drive onto another destination drive, and you'll be able to sync it anytime after that, meaning whatever changes that you've made or saved on your current drive can be synced so that it reflects on the destination drive where you've backed it up. This is very important because oftentimes you'll forget that as you're working on a file or some data on your current drive, the backed up file hasn't been updated, so it won't have any of the new changes that you've made. So you'll want to sync them as soon as you make any changes so that the backup copy is exactly the same. The restore shortcut will allow you to restore any file, folder, data, drive, partition that you've lost but had backed up. And since we didn't do any backups yet, there's nothing here, but once you make some backups, you'll see a directory or a list show up, and from there you can choose what you want to restore. The manage shortcut allows you to shut down the computer when all the running backup tasks are finished, and the reason is because if you're backing up an entire hard drive or partitions, it can take a long time, so you'll need to leave your computer on, but you don't want to stay up all night waiting for it to complete. So just click on that box, let your computer back up all the data, and once it's completed backing up, it'll shut down your computer for you. The log shortcut will basically show every task that you've executed using this software. Useful in case you need to look back and see what you've done. And the tools shortcut will give you some extra tools that you can use should you need them, such as Media Builder, which will allow you to make a bootable disk on a CD or DVD or USB stick, an ISO file, image file, add Boot Plus menu, which will allow you to boot up the computer without the use of any disks, Dismount for dismounting virtual drives, Clone Disk if you want to clone entire disks, PXE, which for more advanced users will be for network users where you're sharing more than one device and want to safeguard and protect all the devices in the network as well. The remote option, also advanced users, will allow you to connect to other PCs in your same network, sometimes called LAN, and will allow you to access and control other computers without physically being there. And the last tool is called System Booster, which can help clean up clutter in your computer, delete unnecessary files, free up memory space, and basically just help your computer run faster and smoother. There's also a shortcut to access the MiniTool Support Center, where they provide 24/7 technical support, email support, as well as an FAQ section, or basically a manual on how to use all the different features in this program. So let's say my backup destination will be an external hard drive. Here it is, local disk E. I have about 220 gigabytes free. So when you select destination folder, you'll see a list of all the available hard drives connected to your computer. And there's my external hard drive, and I'll click on that. And now it's set to be the destination of my backed up files. If you click on the options below, in the image creation mode, you can choose use sector backup or sector by sector backup. So the first one will take less time to copy because it'll only copy the used sectors of the file system. The second one will take much longer because it will just copy all the sectors whether they're used or not. You can set the file size of the image backup if you want any compression or none at all, leave any comments, get email notifications, excluding items from a backup, shut down after backup, even set a password, and verify the backup after it's completed. Now you can also choose what you want to back up, the entire disk or just partitions, or even smaller things like folders and individual files. So let's say I want to back up a particular file that I revise and update often, and here I've backed it up to my external drive as well as synced it after I've added new changes to the file so that the backed up version is also updated and I don't just have a copy of an old version of the file that was backed up many days or weeks ago. So if I somehow lost that file, here's where you can restore it from the software. The backup history is recorded there, so you can just click on it and restore it back onto your drive. You can also set a schedule when to back up that particular file, anywhere from every hour to daily, weekly, monthly, or on event, a particular date. Once it's been backed up, you can now sync it. Think of syncing as simply like refresh. So it'll just update any changes or additions you've made to your saved file so that the backup version is also updated as you constantly work on it on your main drive. And here on my external drive, I can search for my files and the particular file that I backed up and synced. And there it is. Let's say that I'm editing this file and I add more passwords and I change it from ABC1 to 3 and I change it to DEF456. Well, I want my backup copy to also be updated with this new information. So I'll save it, but as you can see, the backup file is not updated. It doesn't have DEF456, so I'll have to make sure that I sync it. And when I go ahead and sync it, I'll go back to my external drive and look for the backed up file just to make sure that it's been updated. And there it is. You can see the updated change to DEF456 is there. And one more time, this time using a bunch of photos just to show as an example. And again, if I add more photos, I'll need to sync it with the backed up version so that that's also updated with the new additions. And let's say somehow I lost or deleted this folder permanently, you can simply restore it from your backup. So you'll have the peace of mind knowing that you can have all of your data and files restored if you've accidentally lost them, deleted them, or something happened to your main drive where you can no longer access them. You'll always have a backup copy of them ready to be restored at any time. The user face is pretty simple and straightforward to follow. I like that in the manage section, it keeps a record of all the actions that you've taken so that you can go back and simply sync the particular file or folder or whatever it is you backed up before. It's right there in your manage section. You don't have to go searching for it again. You can sync it with just a single click. And that's how you basically back up and sync any drive, partition, folder, or file that you want to protect. MiniTool ShadowMaker is a user-friendly, simple, but packed with lots of features so that you can protect your files, data, and precious memories, as well as to be able to restore them in cases of emergencies and easily back up and sync your valuable data. You can check it out, the link down below in the description, and try out the free version of the program. And you'll also have the option to upgrade to a pro version by choosing one of their subscription plans at their website. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you found this video helpful, please leave a like, a share, and subscribe for more content like this. And thanks for tuning in, and as always, until next time, guys.